Shri Bhagavate Samhita, Shri Bhagavate Namaha. Om Sanchidananda Parabrahma, Purushottama Paramatma, Shri Bhagavate Samhita, Shri Bhagavate Namaha.
Welcome to Don't Catch That Shit. I'm your host Deekay. Today we are going to discuss about different aspects that is related to this age of darkness. As per Sanatana Dharma, the cycle of time is divided in four different periods. We call that as Yugas. So, as per Sanatana Dharma, the movement of the time is in four ways. It started from Satya Yuga, when the righteousness was at its best, and most of the people were sattvic, carrying the goodness, believing in harmony, peace, and doing the welfare for each other and living as a community and believing in that the whole world is one nation. So in that period of time, the humanity is like kind of humanity is at its best. It is flourishing and everybody is taking care of everybody else. And there is, the kind of era that humanity saw at that time was the darkness was not much there. Even if some little bit of darkness was there, it was in check. And so that was the time of Satya Yuga, and after that there was a time of Treta. In Treta Yuga, the forces of darkness was trying to get its appearance, and it was trying to assert its own existence in the form that when we talk about people like Ravana, so they started to come into picture. But even in that era, most of the people were like having goodness, sattvic in nature. In that period, also the forces of light, the forces of goodness were having dominance over the forces of darkness. Then came the era of Dwapar Yuga, the Yuga when the forces of light and the forces of darkness, they got equal in power. So there was equal, you can say equal force from both the ends. And that's how we saw that the way Mahabharata was like, it was having the fight among so many kings, and both the sides were equally good in power, and they have the equal strength also. So it was that era when darkness and light had equal strength, equal powers. And then came the Kali Yuga. So Kali Yuga is the era when the darkness is having a dominance over light. That's why we see that evil is having more power, and then most of the people are having their tendencies towards the tamas, towards the pleasure, towards the, their own self-interest over the welfare and over the self-interest of others. And even if you see this darkness has reached to each and every level, beginning from the individual to the family to the society, community, and nations, and the whole universe, you can say that darkness is having more say in the defining the terms for the working of the nations. And you can see that there are nations who are in power, and how they control the economics, how they control different aspects of human lives. So this era is era of darkness, and this is why we call it as Kali Yuga also. And in Kali Yuga, you can see that it is not that easy for people who has goodness in their heart, who has pure intention, who believes in welfare and who believes in well-being. And so you will find such people in lesser quantity. That's where you can see that so many different kinds of wars that the world has seen so far, so many different kinds of conquering of one nation or other nation, different kinds of rulers who came conquering. And more you conquer others' land, their people, their community, more you are like getting called as great. So all these civilizations of Western world and Even if you can see the Arabic world and the Western world, we have seen the past that people who are conquerors who believe in going to someone else's land, capturing that through hook and crook, and such happenings have been there in Kali Yuga, and the kind of deception, kind of exploitation, kind of cheat, kind of cruelty, kind of violence that we see in this era is tremendous. It's hard to believe that humanity can go to that level of violence, that level of, cruelty. People are not kind. You can see people in power, people having money, fame, name, control. They are running their shows and exploiting people who lack the resources, who are not in power. Even the good talents are getting exploited in every industry. If you look at any industry, whether it is industry of entertainment, of modeling, of any kind of industry, you will find that people are getting exploited. If you have goodness, then your chances of getting up high on the ladder is reduced. I'm not saying that they have to compromise with the things, but the system is such that people who compromise their values, they gets promoted. They are given more chances because they become the part of the system that believes in exploitation, system that believes in lobbying, and system that believes in getting people in their own favor and getting the work done through them. So that kind of things are more and more and more in this era of Kali Yuga, because this is the age of darkness. So Sanatana Dharma understands all these things from its ancient knowledge, wisdom, the way we understand the yugas, the kalas, why things are happening this way in this era. And so we understand the human nature, right? We understand the way humanity has gone from the sattva to tamas, highly tamas. We understand that what happens in Satya Yuga, what happens in Treta, Dwapar, and Kali Yuga. And we know that the human mind, the influence of gunas, the tamasic, rajasic, sattvic tendencies which are there associated with the human mind. So in Kali Yuga, these tamasic and rajasic tendencies, they influence more over the sattvic tendencies. So we need to understand what is going on, what is happening in this era, why this is happening in this era. This period of Kali Yuga is the most important aspect that we need to understand. I think if there is one thing that every human should understand, is the concept of Kali Yuga, the purpose of us, of every human in this era, is that this is the time of test. This yuga, this era will test your alliance with the light, with dharma, with righteousness, with your alignment with divine or devil. This is a testing ground. This is the challenge that is there in front of everybody. So this is a challenging time, not only for the normal people, even the people of highest caliber who are aligned towards light with proper dharma, righteousness, and all that. It is a testing ground. In Kali Yuga, unlike any other yuga, the forces of darkness, the evil, the forces of adharma, they are in power. They are in majority also. Because the nature of tamas, the attributes of tamas is highly dominant. Everybody seems to get influenced with the tamasic tendencies of self-interest over the interest of others, and everybody is like kind of having their own selfishness. So this era is kind of having the vibration of influence of darkness in such a way that keeping your alliance with the light, with the values, with the righteousness is going to be very difficult. It's a challenging time for everybody. So those who have already aligned with the darkness, they are part of the system which is already out there. If you look at what is happening around the world, you'll find that this darkness, the way it is working is that it is working in a very organized way. You look at nations, their leadership, their power, everybody from the top leadership with the waterfall effect, uh, everybody seems to have, influenced with the darkness, with the deception, using the exploitation and all that stuff. Uh, you look at corporates, you look at business houses, you look at entertainment industry, movie industry, media. Take any industry, and you will find that this darkness is working in a very organized, very structured way. The darkness has created so many different kinds of systems, offline as well as online, that it is not easy for people who are having their own convictions with the goodness, with the values, with the righteousness. It's difficult for them to enter this system and survive their values. So whichever industry you want to get into and you want to go up high at the ladder, you will always come across the system which will stop you using your good values and which will force you to adhere to their own systems. May it be the industry of entertainment, of movies, of any other, politics and anything, you would find that you will come across many situations that will make you compromise with your values. So unless you become the part of that system, it's difficult for you to survive or you to prosper and go up later, get promoted, and all that. So it's a challenging time for people who have aligned themselves with the light. So it's the darkness. The purpose of Kali Yuga is that only. It's a testing ground. It's a playground kind of stuff where the souls are who have taken birth on earth. It's a testing time for them, that whether they can preserve their alliance with the righteousness. If they are able to do that, if they are able to survive the Kali Yuga, keeping their values intact, then only they would enter the Satya Yuga, the Yuga of light, the righteousness, the goodness, the harmony. You would not be able to enter the Satya Yuga if you align with the darkness. You are going to enter in the dark worlds, not in the Satya Yuga on this earth where the things will go well. And the best time on the earth is Satya Yuga time. Your soul might not be here at that time if you align with the darkness. So it's a testing ground for everybody, every soul, not for the normal people. Even the people are having a lot of knowledge, they would also fall in the trap of darkness. So it's a testing time, it's an interesting time, it's a time where I would say if there is any yuga, which is the most crucial yuga for the soul on earth, is the Kali Yuga. Satya Yuga is anyway, majority is in the favor of light, in the favor of righteousness, welfare, well-being. So that is not the difficult. It's the best time to be there on earth. Treta also, the goodness prevails over the darkness, and darkness is so limited in Treta. I mean, though people of Ravana types were there, but they were lesser in numbers, and majority of there was of good people. Dwapara was also like a equal fight. The number of good people and the bad people were in equal in numbers. But Kali Yuga, the majority is of darkness. People having the evil mindset, people having the tamasic tendencies, the tendencies of deception, exploitation, having shortcuts for the success, for the progress, using others, selfishness, and all these traits falls in the darkness. It makes your soul getting aligned with the asuras, with the rakshasas, with their dark world. So you get aligned with that energy, and once you do that thing consistently, then after one life, you are appointed in their dark worlds as their agents. So it's a challenging time. Keep the energy, the aura, the vibration of your soul with the light. Don't let it get in the trap of darkness. Keep your sanity. Don't become insane, just like every other person is getting insane nowadays. Keep your sanity check. Keep following the rules of righteousness, of goodness. Keep supporting the goodness. Uh, that is the message of Lord Krishna, Ma Bhagavati, of Mahadeva in this time. That keep your aura intact. Keep your alliance very well with the light, with the dharma, with the righteousness, with the goodness, and try to keep your soul towards the Satya Yuga. Thank you.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
Until the next episode, be peaceful, blissful, and be aware.
Dream tare kita do na dera na